Bar Z. My name's Stan. I know I haven't gotten a video out in a while, and I thought I'd do one on a very specific topic. And some of you know that I've been collecting, I'm switching the lathe over to BXA size tool post and getting rid of the little pipsqueak AXA, mainly so I can run some of the larger tooling. And my collection has grown a little bit, and that's thanks to Mike Galusha and James Deadman. And now, you know, I was over on Mike's channel watching him, and he had a brilliant idea. I mean, it's just genius what he did. And what he did is he made his BXA indexable. And I have to make a new T-nut to make this thing fit anyways. So you see I've got two inscribed circles there. One is my outer limit and one's my center line limit for a series of holes for a ball plunger for a detent. I'm gonna make the tool post so it's indexable, and I chose 15-degree increments. You could choose 10-degree increments. That way you could index it 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, whatever. But I chose 15-degree increments. 10 degrees you would be able to catch 30 degrees and 60 degrees, but you would not be able to grab 45. So 15 degrees is a natural choice. It contains 30, 60, as well as 45. I'm going to do my own spin on it, you know, since I am making my own T-nut. I'm going to use these, this is a ball plunger. Basically it's just a set screw with a hardened tip and a spring inside, and it's got a nylon patch on it. I'm trying to spin it around so you can see that little nylon patch. So you can control by how far you thread it in, you can kind of control the pressure. Now this has got an 1/8 inch ball. It's got an 1/8 inch hardened ball on there. So we're going to be going around with an 1/8 inch end mill, and we want to know if it's going to fit, if all those holes are going to fit around my inscribed circle. Now my inner circle measures 1.350. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 1.350 times, our friend is what? Pi, 3.14 equals 4.239. Let's record that. So that's the circumference of our inscribed circle. So we're 4.239. So now we know we've got around this circumference here, we got 4.239. All right. So now we want to know is if I go around and I take a ball mill and I make all those little indents all the way around, are they going to fit? Are they going to interfere with each other? Am I going to have a flat spot in between them? Flat spot in between them is fine, but I certainly don't want them to intersect. So now we're doing those, and we're using 1/8 inch. So we're going to go 360 degrees. Okay, divide it by how far apart we're spacing, which is 15 degrees, equals 24. So that's 24 spaces we're going to go around. So we've got 24 cuts to make, or 24 balls to make. So we're going to take that 24 and multiply that by the diameter of our tool, which is 0.125, which is an 1/8 inch, equals 3. Okay, so we've got 3 inch and we've got 4.239. We've got 3 inches of circumference of tooling cuts, but we've got 4.239 space to work with around that perimeter. So we've got plenty of meat there to do what we want to do. I mean, just for the hell of it, let's see what would happen if we did 10 degree increments. 360 degrees divided by 10 is 36, so you'd have 36 cuts to make. So you'd have 36 times 0.125 equals 4.5. See, now we've exceeded it. 4.5. So if I wanted to go 10-degree increments, I'd have to increase my inscribed circle to get that to fit in there, because we've only got 4.2 circumference to work with, and we'd be taking up 4.5 inches of circumference. So not going to fit. So 15 degrees is a natural choice. Fits well. You know, you've only got so much meat to work with. You've got those T-slots in the bottom, so you can't get into those. You don't want your ball detents going out into those. So that you've only got so much room to work with there. So that's my plan. We're going to get it on the super spacer over on the mill and rotate this thing around and make our 24 cuts. All right, let's get started. Okay, and we're set up over on the mill, and I've got the spacer in here, which is courtesy of Mike Dittman. Some of you may remember I just picked this up. So what we're going to do first is I'm on 0 degrees, got the veneer set at 0. I'm absolute 0 on the spacer, but I'm still loose here. And first thing I want to do is, this is the working side of the tool. This is what faces the work in the lathe. So we're going to start out at 0 here. So I'm going to sweep here and get this all parallel with the machine, and I'll probably come back and double check this to, I don't know how square this block is, I haven't checked that, but this is your actual working surface. So I'm going to come out here and just get a 0 and just start that way, and then we're going to get over the hole and we're going to sweep the hole. Pardon my arm. I probably could have picked a better camera location. Let's get our indicator arm parallel and all that. All right, I think we're pretty good there. Now we're getting her worried. We're 1, 2, 3 thousandths above. And there we're 5, 6, 7 thousandths above, so we're going to split the difference. Take her down to 5. Let's see if she holds there. Alright, we're pretty happy there. Let's snug it up, make sure it's not going to move on us. Tighten that turkey up. Okay, I think we're good there. 5s. We're at 6 there. And we're at 6 there. Okay, so we're happy with that backside. Just for the hell of it, let's stick it over here and see if it repeats over on this side. See how square they make these import blocks. That's a 1/2 thou above. That's 1 thou above, so it's within a 1/2 thou of parallel on here, but this is the side we're concerned about. This is the side where the tool drops. I mean, we could check maybe this side, see if it's 90. I'm sure you guys can't see this, but I can. I'm looking under the tripod. All right, let's see how parallel this is. She's following pretty good right there. Maybe a couple tenths, so not bad. All right, we're happy there. We're on 0 on the spacer. We're parallel with the machine. We're going to get over the middle and sweep that center, get right directly over the hole, then go straight up 1/2 of our diameter and grab our first hole. 12.5, 12.5. So we're doing pretty good there. We'll get it a little more dialed in here. Come up on a 0. little bumpy in there. All right, so we're within a half a thou of that center. So I'm gonna zero out my DRO. And get this thing out of here. So we're zeroed all the way around. Now all we're going to do is go up straight up half of the diameter, which our let's see, our diameter was 1.350, and a little math here, 1.350 divided by 2 equals, we're going to go up 675. I'm not going to lock the table, I'm just barely snugging the gibs just a little bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down and touch with the spindle off. And let's see, I'm going to zero my knee right here. With the gibs just barely snug, I'm going to zero that. And then I'm going to come down. I'm going to touch the tool. Then I'm going to set the quill stop. So we're calling that 0 right there. And then with an 1/8 inch ball mill, we want to come in exactly half of that, which is 62.5 thousandths. So we've already got our quill stop set so that we're down there. Our knee's at 0, but now we're going to raise the knee 62.5. And we're going to lock the knee for the last time. Done. So now when I come down, hit my quill stop, I will be going down 1/16 of an inch, which is the radius of that tool. I'm hoping you're still in frame. I think you are. Yes, you are. I'm going to move you around just a little bit here. Get a little better view of what's going on there. There, how would that be? You guys like that? I'm probably going to fast forward through this because this is going to be pretty dull. We're 24 cuts, so it's gonna be a while. What does this light do to you? Did it glare you out or anything? Bring it back here and kind of shine a little light on it. That wouldn't be terrible, would it? All right. We're going to twist this thing up. A little tiny ball mill. Got no center cutting ability. The center velocity is 0 no matter what speed you run it. So we're going to spool this thing up, and I'll probably mute out the sound because who wants to hear a mill at 4,200 RPM? Okay, here we go. Okay, so I wasn't happy with the first go around. I don't know whether you guys caught it, but I ended up drilling too deep and the detent ball was just falling down in those things. I'm trying to get this turkey to focus here. That's Adam dinging me. Anyways, I milled it out with 1/4 inch, just went all the way around. I did break through to this T-slot, but I don't care. That's not going to be of any consequence at all. and then I created a new pattern. But just, God, I only went 30 thousandths deep. You know, I pretty much cut it in half. So now my ball just jumps from hole to hole, real nice, and I'm real happy with the way that falls in there. So all we got to do now is make a T-nut with the same spacing. We didn't change our spacing or anything. We just opened it up and created a flat spot. Who knows? Maybe this will be a good thing that'll keep chips out of the balls with them being elevated off of the compound. So let's go make a T-nut and see how this thing goes. Okay, so we've got our stock to height and width. We've already done the heavy milling there, and I found the corner, X and Y, and I'm center by center up on the middle. All we need in the middle is a 5/8 coarse thread. We're gonna get that done now. We'll mill the sides later, so let's get this thing going. First part of silver and dimmings is finding the flat spots. That's it for that. All right. Down there. All right. Done deal. All right, now we need to make our two threaded holes for the detent. So let's do that next. Okay, and we're still on center, but we need to move over half of our diameter, which was 1.350, was our inscribed circle on our tool post. So we're going to go over half of that, and I'm just using the DRO. In case you're wondering, that is a block of 4140 in its annealed condition. And I might harden it. I might surface grind it. I don't know. Why do you do such things, Stan? Because I can. All right, holes are done. Those are the holes for our detents. All that's left is just to mill the sides. We already know where center is, so we can step over equally on both sides to make our two cuts. I'll probably do that with like a 1-inch end mill. We want to end up with a 1-inch block there in the center, or 1-inch high spot. Let me put this stuff away and we'll start some milling. All right, I put in my mill and I got started milling and I set up the camera and I forgot to turn it on. Looks like I had good sense. Okay, that's 200 on the dot. So we're looking for another 50, so that's 10, 20, 30, 40, and we'll leave 10 thousandths for a cleanup. All right, let's head back. I misspoke. I thought it was 250. It's 275. So right now we have we're at 241 and we want 275, so we still got another 10, 20. Let's take 30 off and then that'll give us a little room to clean up. All right, we're at 270. We want a 274. So let's grab our last 4 thousandths. And I'm not going to do anything to the sidewall yet because we're gonna flip it and go to depth, and then we'll get this sidewall here momentarily. But we're going to be using the fixed jaw as a point of reference. Okay, we should be happy with our depth there. And I just put a Sharpie mark on my dial so I can hit it again. My burr is non-existent. Just keep going up against the same wall. And we got our 275, as you can see there. So we're happy. All right, so we got a good depth on that. Let's flip it around and do it again over on the other side. Okay, and we're up on a final, and we got all our burrs off both sides. We're gonna compare these sides here real quick. So we're 270, looks like 273 on that side, and we're 274 on that side. So this just needs a whisker taken off of it. I'm gonna go ahead and twist it up pretty high and go for about 1.5 thou. Okay, 274, 274. All right, we're happy with our depth. All we need to do now is establish the width. we need to check and see how much over it is. And then cut that in half, whatever the error is. So we're going to go to, I'm just going to use a mic here real quick. See if this thing will get down on there. Ooh, it's not going to get down on there very well, is it? I'm only going to catch half the anvil. According to this, I'm 24 thousandths big. Let's check out the caliper. According to this, I'm 24.5 thousandths big. So, yeah. So let's use 24 as our number. We're going to split 24 in half. What we're going to do is we're going to zero our DRO right where it's sitting right now. And then we're going to take half of that 24 thousandths, which is 6, 10, 11, there's 12 right there. Okay, so we're going to zip 12 thousandths off of this wall, flip the part, and zip that 12 thousandths off the other wall. I'm sorry, I can't talk to the camera and read the DRO at the same time. All right, we're just going to flip this dude around. And take that same cut off the other side. All right, that should be our 1 inch. Let's clean it up and see how it measures. See if it fits in the compound of the lathe. It's ready to test fit. Let's see how we do. But I'm measuring 99.5, bouncing right between 1. So yeah, we're pretty happy there. Yeah, we're doing good. Let's go test it in the lathe. Okay, we ran a file over all the edges. That's what we got. It should be a pretty snug fit here. Oh yeah, that's nice. Yeah, that's real nice. It's just below the surface. Let's see how much below the surface. Yeah, 20 thousandths low, so that's perfectly adequate. I think we're good. All right, let's get our detents in there and play with this thing. And we got our T-nut in, our ball detents are in, the stud's in, and you can actually run the stud down into the bottom of the compound and kind of lock everything in so everything's in pretty tight. And everything drops in pretty nice. I mean, you've got this play on the stud, so it's not like it's going to be hyper accurate. It's just a good point of reference. But we've got a nice, you see right there, I can go parallel with the compound. Compound's currently set for 60, so now we can correct it and get back square with the work. Oh, and between here and here, that's your play in your stud you're feeling there. You know, that's the amount of play you're going to have in it. So it's not built to be hyper accurate. It's not a you know, like a turret head or anything like that. It's just a quick point of reference for you to get your tool centered up without having to sit there and look down at it and measure it and all that stuff. And I went out and got a nice big nut for that stud. And I actually cannibalized a 1 1/16 wrench, so that gives me a nice place to keep that all the time. And we've got a tool, so we're pretty happy.